Hello, ladies. I need to do things a little bit different today because we had a snowstorm in Kansas City. So um, I got one of my favorite little spots secured probably for the next 5 or 10 minutes before probably more people will show up. So I put our workout circuit in the heading, and then I'll also put it in the comments. But our workout circuit for this week, you should be able to see it. So what I'm going to do actually, since we already have the exercises, and since the weather might be kind of touchy later this afternoon when I'd actually have gym access, I'm not going to do the instructions inside the gym today. I'm going to do them just right now. And hopefully that works. And then if you all have any questions, then you can just let me know. Okay. So it's going to be very similar to the exercises that we did last week. I just wanted to kind of progress us. So anytime you want to just take a step back to like what we did last week, um, then that is totally fine because it's meant for you to be able to do both. Hi, Jessica. So this is just the next step up. So if you want to stay with where you're at without using the ball, because we're going to use a lot of the ball today, and for the very last exercise, you'll use your dumbbells. Okay. So the first exercise we have is push-ups with the ball, and you already tried push-ups on the knees last week, right? So it's going to be very similar. If you'll just, if you feel okay with getting on your stomach and then walking yourself out on the ball, then you really just walk yourself out to your knees, okay? So that same thing, only you're going to be up a little bit. So your knees are going to be up on the ball, and you're going to be having your hands in that same placement. And you don't have to go all the way down to the floor. You just go to your comfort level, okay? So for number one on our circuit, push-ups with the ball. And push-ups are going to work chest, shoulders, and triceps, okay? So I'll go ahead and throw that out there. That's why we're doing the pushing. And then after the push-ups, then you're going to put the ball in front of you, and then you're going to go out into a plank. Now you could be on your knees for the plank. You don't have to be out on your feet because the ball is going to wobble. And the wider you have your feet, then the more stable you'll be. Or you can just drop it down and do it on the floor. Or if you want to do like last week where we did the bird dog instead, the bird dog would be a totally good substitute, okay? So, and that's for our core. And you're kind of feel it through your chest and shoulders and triceps again. So I'm being a little bit mean to you with putting the plank right after push-ups, okay? So there's push-ups, then there's plank, and then number three is going to be squat with the ball. So instead of the split squat, which you could do, which was last week, this time we're going to pick up the ball, put it on the wall, and then you're going to put the ball like in the small of your back, okay? So start there. And then you step your feet out in front of you and take your time, and then you just sit down to whatever feels comfortable. So if you don't go down as far as I do in the video, that's okay. You just go down to where you feel comfortable. And if you feel like you're shooting yourself forward instead of sitting down in a chair, I want it to look like you're sitting down in a chair. So you lean that ball up against the wall, you're here, you step your feet out in front of you, and then you pretend like you're sitting in a chair, and then you stand up. Okay? And if that's too much for this time, you actually could sub that out. Instead of the split squats, you could just sit down in a chair, and then you could stand up from a chair. Sit down in a chair, stand up from a chair. Okay? Now, if you want to add weights and you have weights, you could totally add weights, but I don't want you to totally blast yourself if you haven't been exercising super regularly, and last week was like your first week. We can still do like the body weight stuff, okay, for these. So number one, push-ups with the ball. Number two, plank on the ball. Then we had the ball on the wall with squat with ball. And so now I'm going to be a little mean to you and have you do something for the glutes. So we had single leg bridges on last week. So if you have a ball, I want you to try to do single leg bridges with the ball, and it's going to wobble. So you just, if you can't go down as low as I do in the video, that's okay. Even if you just raise that one leg up and you just hold it in that position that you see me in. So you're going to put the ball on your back, and then you're going to go out into a bridge, and then you're going to see if you can do it one-legged. And if you can't do it one-legged, you could do it two, or you could just raise one and just hold it. Okay, or you can do what we did last week with just the bridges from the floor. Okay, so that was number four. We've got two left. And then crunch with ball. So Totally fine again if you just want to do this from the floor. The reason I have my hands out in front of me is because I feel like that helps you not crank your neck. So you just kind of put your hands out in front of you, like in front of your eyes. And if you'll keep it to a small little crunch move, instead of throwing your whole hips into it, then that's going to help you to use your abs more, okay? Instead of letting your hips do the flexion. And again, you're going to sit on that ball first, and then you're going to walk yourself out. And if you've never done a crunch with ball before, then I would just do them from the floor. And then I'll post another video that kind of shows me like walking in and out of that position if you've never done that crunch on the ball before. What I don't want you to do is sit on the ball and then just lean straight back. I want you to walk forward and let it get in the small of your back first. Okay? All right. So then the last one is seated row with dumbbells. If you don't have a ball and you just want to sit on a chair, that's totally fine. But the idea is you lean forward, but your spine is straight, and then you want to keep kind of like your neck in line with your spine. Okay? So leaning forward will help you actually use your lats. Because if you don't lean forward and you just start pulling, you're going to use your traps. So if you lean forward and then pull, you're going to be able to use your lats. Okay? So I'm going to have you try that. So if you ladies have any problems or questions with any of those exercises, then I want you to let me know. Hopefully this way of explaining this week kind of works out. And then any questions, and I can answer questions right here in this comment link, okay? All right, have fun. Happy snow day if you're in Kansas City. Alrighty.